Hey guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today's video is a really exciting one because it's been over a year in the making. At least you could say the concept of this video has been a year in the making, but the story is about 10 years old and it's a really important one that I've wanted to tell for a while because I feel like this is a subject that so many women are interested in, so many women are affected by, and it's just not spoken about very much. And it's also, I find, a very dangerous, deceitful industry capitalizing on women, the experiences that they can have with their hair. Today we're going to talk about my hair story. Like I said, it spans 10 years in the making, and we're going to do a little trip down memory lane, and I'm going to let you know all the times and all the struggles I have been through when it comes to my hair, because it is not a happy story, I'm not going to lie. I'm actually really happy with where my hair is today, which leads me to letting you guys know this video is in partnership with Viviscal, who I reached out to a year ago and said I really want to make some videos with you guys because I want to talk about women's hair health, because it's something that's affected me massively over the last decade. So we're going to jump in with a little story time, and then I'm going to talk to you about what I use to maintain my hair and what my routine is. Okay, so you're going to journey back with me now 10 years. I've been putting together a slideshow on my phone of my hair journey. There have been times over the last 10 years when I've had absolutely amazing hair and I've been really happy with where I am, and there have been incidents where I have suffered hair loss, hair breakage, and it's just been absolutely devastating, and it seems sometimes like a vicious cycle as well. So let's hop back in time to the first picture in my camera roll. I'm going to start with this one because I took it when I was at uni, and it is actually the last time I remember having really fabulous, long, thick, natural blonde hair, and it's this picture here. I have a little furry hat on. This was taken 10 years ago. It was 2011, I believe. So the first thing I want to say is I was super young. I had been dyeing my hair blonde for a while, and obviously bleaching your hair can cause damage, but my hair was dealing with it then. Actually, it was around this time that I first had my first bout of like depression in my life, which has continued to be ever present in my life since 2011. I remember being really depressed with my social living situation at university, and it got so bad that I had to go on antidepressants. I was seeing a therapist, and it was around that time that I started to notice my hair thinning out. As you can see here, this is only about 6 months later, and you can see all around the top of that hairline I've got all of those baby hairs growing in. This actually was the start of a pattern that continued throughout most of my 20s and into my 30s. Reasons we can lose our hair, and I think this was the first reason I lost my hair, it was stress and anxiety. If we do go under tremendous amounts of stress, then you can lose your hair, and it just triggers something in your body. And this type of hair loss is actually called telogen effluvium. You can get it from crash dieting, not getting enough nutrients suddenly in your body, going on a new course of medication like birth control, and again, stress, anxiety, and also it could be triggered by an illness. Like coronavirus, we're seeing a lot of people losing their hair right now because of coronavirus. I remember at this time I actually cut in a fringe, which I'm never ever going to do again because I hated all those baby hairs and I just wanted to kind of have a sense of control over the hair loss and the new baby hair growth. And then we jump into my relationship with hair extensions, thinking that they would solve my problem and promising myself once my hair grew back I would take them out. But then, because hair extensions actually do just cause damage to your hair in general, because of the tension at the root, I suffered even more hair loss as a result of them. And I remember taking them out and just feeling so shit about myself. What was left underneath was even worse than what I had before. So I eventually managed to break up with hair extensions. So fast forward like 3-4 years, I'd finished uni, it happened again, the hair fell out. I wasn't even using extensions this time, I just had to cut it short. There really wasn't an alternative, and I'm just showing you pictures here of my hair, super thin and bobbed. I was trying to like blow it out, make it look really voluminous, but the ends were just so thin, and it was really frustrating. I didn't know what to do. It just seemed like it was a cycle that was happening every few years now. So it was around, I'd say about 5 years ago maybe, I started taking Viviscal supplements. I'd heard about all the research that had gone into them, and a friend actually introduced me to them who worked in beauty PR. It gives you vitamin C, it gives you biotin, it gives you zinc. All of these are essential nutrients in order to have the best hair possible. By taking that supplement that contains the zinc, that contains the biotin, that contains the niacin, it's gonna be in your body, it's gonna travel up to the scalp, and it's gonna nourish the hair follicles which is where you need the work to begin. It was then I started taking them and I was growing my hair again. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say it's Viviscal was the reason my hair was growing, because everybody's hair on their head will grow no matter what the quality of hair you have, the thickness, the speed at which it grows. Everybody's hair grows. That's the point of hair. My hair did eventually start growing, and it was such a relief because it had been about 2 years and I hadn't seen any of the shedding happen. I thought, oh my god, I'm on my way to recovery. I started getting these really nice, healthy, mid-length cuts. I was on top of keeping my hair healthy. It was just really nice to see it all come back nicely. So it was this stage when like my hair was growing in, it was about this length, it was really thick. I was actually getting it blonded again because before I was kind of trying to stay away from the bleach because, oh my gosh, was this contributing to my hair falling out? I remember also this was a time I'd been blogging for about 2 years. I remember the hair sponsorship brands were just lining up as well. I did a few colour brand sponsorships, which I'll put on the screen now. I dyed my hair pink, I dyed my hair purple, and I also did a few shampoo and conditioner brands as well, some hair mask brands. I was just feeling really confident, really sure of myself, and I was glad that my random hair loss that I'd experienced was in the past. It did make me sit back and think, well, the reason I must be losing hair is probably something internal then. Like, what is it? Is it genetics? Could it be my hormones? Could it be some underlying medical or thyroid issue that I'm not aware of? Is it because I have an itchy scalp and I react sometimes to certain shampoos I use? These were all questions that I was thinking about over the last 4 years. And then when my hair started growing back and feeling so much more healthy, I stopped asking the questions, because that's what happens when you have a good spell and things are going well for you. You don't question what happened anymore because you have what you want so much, thick, healthy, long hair once again. So I totally put it to the back of my mind, and that was that. Enter 2017, summer of. It was probably when my hair was at its most long and its most bleached. You'll see in this picture, it's really starting to thin out at the ends and break. I did have a lot of bleach in my hair at this time as well, but I was thinking, gosh, it's pretty much down to my boobs here. That's at least 4 years of growth, 5 years of growth. I have to admit, in the back of my mind, I was thinking, oh god, is my hair gonna start falling out again? I tried to ignore it for as long as possible, and then I shot an ad campaign and I got the pictures back, and I was looking at, and I know you're overcritical of yourself always, but I was looking at the hair and I was like, it's just not healthy anymore. I'm just gonna have to chop it off. And it was actually this picture in particular, and I'll get a zoom on that. You'll see the ends very fine, and I realized it wasn't worth having that length anymore because it was too thin. It was around this time I was on and off my Viviscal hair supplements. I think once it got to kind of this length and it was really thick again, I wasn't taking them as religiously, and I just thought, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So that was kind of the attitude and mentality I had. Eventually I did have to cut it to sort of this type of length again, just like to get rid of those ends. They weren't serving me at all. Just have a clean chop and, you know, start to regrow it. It was actually that point in my life I started a really toxic relationship. And again, to this day, I'm not sure if this is the reason that my hair started to fall out once again, but I was stressed constantly, just, you know, emotional distress all the time in this relationship, and it took place over the course of 9 months. I remember about 3 months into the relationship, after I'd cut my hair to this sort of length, it did start falling out again. You know, I was 4 years into my blogging career and I just was desperate, so I put the extensions back in. Is it the toxic relationship? Is it the work stress? Is it the fact I'm drinking more caffeine, maybe not eating as much vegetables? My IBS is worse at this point as well, so my nutrition retention isn't great. Is that affecting my hair? It was a minefield. You just hope for that miracle cure, really. It's devastating, especially once you've had a good run of it. I went to the doctors, I had blood tests done, I had my hormones read. There wasn't an answer. Maybe it was genetic. The inevitable happened 2 years ago and I bobbed my hair. This picture, I actually love this picture because for the first time in years I was feeling my most confident, because there was a sense of like knowing that every hair on my head was the same length. It was healthy. I'd gotten rid of all the dead ends. The new regrowth that had fallen out through my last relationship now was, you know, chin length. So it was all, my hair was all healthy. I was feeling really confident and like secure in the fact I wasn't using extensions anymore. And actually I didn't hate the bob either. I made it bright blonde to make myself feel better about about having shorter hair, and I remember this haircut so well and actually really, really loving it. No matter what state your hair is, no matter what type of hair loss you're having, if you've got hair on your head, it's going to keep growing, and it did. And much to my disappointment, it just wasn't the quality that I'd hoped it'd come back. I was at a stage in my life where I was really happy in a new relationship, work was going well, so I'm not stressed anymore. Can't blame my relationship. Hair just wasn't what it was. And as it grew, that desire to want to have it long again grew. And unfortunately, it was just not thick enough. Inevitably, I kept going back to the bob. Frustrating. So let's talk about my routine. I feel like I have a really well-honed routine, something that is going to make my hair the best possible version of itself. I have been using protein-rich and moisture-rich shampoos on rotation now for a while, but I'm actually switching up my routine because I'm getting really interested in natural shampoos, which don't really have anything the hair doesn't need, with the hope of actually moving into a no-poo, no-shampoo routine. I've been using sulfate-free shampoo and conditioner now for over 2 years. I think it had a lot to do with my scalp health getting a lot better and less dry. In terms of maintaining the hair, I'm a firm believer in a weekly hair mask and a weekly scalp scrub. I actually use a caffeine scalp scrub, which is great for increasing blood flow. Every time I wash my hair, I make sure I massage my scalp for 30 seconds. And then post-wash care, I never heat style without a heat protection spray. I do have blonde hair, it's very highly bleached. I do believe my hair would be thicker if I didn't have bleach in it, but because I've chosen the bleach life, I need to make sure I take care of it. So I always style with a heat protection spray. My general hair health is fantastic. Despite being someone that bleaches a lot religiously, at least 4 times a year, my hair is actually really shiny. It's very, very soft, even all the way through to the ends. It's very supple. I do have very fine hair. I do have a lot of it, but yeah, it's really great quality. Let's talk about supplements. I'm going to talk to you about Viviscal, who, as I mentioned before, are partnering with me on this video. Like I said, I approached them a year ago because I was like, guys, you've been the only constant in my hair routine for the last 6 or 7 years. Let's make a video together because I really want to get information out there about hair loss, how much crap is actually on the market, how much money I have spent wishing for the results that they promised me on the bottle and never getting them. But Viviscal don't make those promises. Viviscal are never going to tell you that they are going to grow your hair twice as quickly. Viviscal is not going to tell you that it's going to stop hair loss, because like I said earlier, if your hair is going to fall out, your hair is going to fall out. So what does Viviscal actually do for me? Well, in order to get the best possible hair that your body wants to grow, whatever state it's in, you need a healthy scalp for starters. I mentioned already that I do like scalp scrubs, but in order to get a really healthy scalp, you want the blood delivering the nutrients to the hair follicle in the scalp to be as potent and nutrient rich as possible. So a hair supplement is a good idea. Don't ever buy one though that says it's going to grow your hair, it's going to stop hair loss. You can improve the way your hair looks, feels on the outside by topical products like I've mentioned, my scalp scrubs, my heat protection sprays, my hair masks that I use. If you want to make a difference to the way your hair is growing out of your scalp, then you need to work from the inside out. And that might be making sure you have the right nutrients. That might be, like I said before, managing your stress levels. It might be doing blood tests to make sure you're not deficient in anything. It might just be having a more mindful routine in general. So all that biotin you're getting, the vitamin C, the zinc, the niacin, all of those nutrients is what's going to make your new regrowth as healthy as it can be. So if you are suffering with hair loss or it happens to you in the future, please don't reach for the first bottle of pills that are promising exactly what you want. Please remember to step back and think about the fact that these promises are empty and you're going to be wasting your money. There is no miracle cure. It's a combination of a healthy lifestyle, maintaining those stress levels, your mental health, making sure you have all of those essential nutrients to make sure the nutrients in your body that are feeding those follicles is getting what it needs. So shop smart. Shop for something that increases your hair health and doesn't have outlandish claims about stopping hair loss in its track, doubling the length of your hair in 6 months. It's just bullshit. Believe me, I learned the hard way. So I started back on my Viviscal. I've been on it 7 months now. I mean, my hair is great condition. It really is. So I guess what I want to say is, guys, you're not alone if you're going through this. I can relate. It's super frustrating. It can have such a knock on your confidence. You can be tempted to just take everything under the sun in order to reverse it. But I just wanted to share with you my experience because I think there's something to be learned from it. So who knows if my hair will get back to my boobs again? I don't. We just don't know. I know there's not a medicine or a supplement that's going to make that happen. What I do know is thanks to the lifestyle choices I make and all of the knowledge I've procured over the years of studying this sort of things and trials and errors with different supplements, that taking Viviscal with all of these nutrients in it is going to make my hair feel denser and stronger and less brittle, and therefore much healthier, and give it the best shot at growing longer. Thanks for joining me today on this video. I hope it was relatable to some. I'll see you guys back on my channel really soon. Bye for now.